Hello everyone, my name is Belkis. You're welcome to a new lesson. If you are new, you're welcome, and make sure you subscribe. Tap on the notification bell to get a notification each time we put up a video. Today's tutorial will be on how to make this simple dress for a girl of 5, and trust me, it will be very beautiful. I have these 2 leftover fabric which I will use to make this. So this very one will be for this upper part, so it's like a drop waist dress, while this other one is going to be for the lower part. Looking at it, it is an inverted pleat dress here. This fabric, as you can see, so it is pleated. Now, what are the measurements required for this? First, you need the length of the dress. The length of the dress will be 25 inches from the nape of the neck down to the hem of the dress. That's 25. The chest circumference I'm working with is 24 inches. Half of the armhole is going to be 6. The shoulder measurement is going to be 10 inches, but we'll need half of that because we'll be drafting on fold. Then another thing is this, that means I need to divide this length of the dress into 2. So since it's a drop waist, here from the nape of the neck will be 15 inches. Can you see that? Why from here to here, that will be 25 minus 15, which will be 10 inches. From here to here will be 10 inches. Can you see that? So the next thing now is for us to start drafting. So we'll have to cut out the upper part first before going to this very one. My fabric has been folded now. Looking at it, this is what I have. From what we drafted, I said I want from the nape of the neck down to the drop waist area to be 15 inches, but I'll make it 15.5 because of seam allowance to join it back to the lower fabric. Here now I have 15.5. This is what I have now, 15.5. So now, having done that, then I need my shoulder. I need her shoulder measurement because I'm making it for a girl. Shoulder measurement is 10, so I need half of that, which is 5. But because of seam allowance to hem the armhole area, I'm just going to add extra half an inch to that to make it 5.5. 5.5 is here. The next thing, half of the armhole, I'm going to make use of 6. Though girls differs in shapes and sizes, so it depends on the type of girl you are working with, because this might be too big for a girl of 5 and could be too small for a girl of 5. So girls comes in different size and shapes, just like we adults. So now I have 5.5 here. Half of the armhole is 6 inches. From the edge here, I'm just going to mark 6 inches. So I haven't done that now. I'm just going to do what? I'm going to insert the chest circumference. Here it is 24. So quarter of that is 24 divided by 4 will be 6 inches. Now I have 6 inches here. But remember, you need your seam allowance, half an inch. Then I want to add ease to the dress just to make it a little bit free. So instead of 6, I'm going to make it 6.5. 6.5 is here. Then because of seam allowance of 1 inch for the sides, I'm going to make it 7.5. Extra 1 inch to that. Now 7.5 is here. Then it's going to be in form of an A-line dress. So whatever I have here now, I have 7.5. Always go over your measurement to be sure. Yeah, so 7.5. So whatever I have here now, I'm just going to add 2 inches to it. So since it's 7.5, I'm going to add 2 inches, 8.5, 9.5. I'm just going to bring that to the lower part. 9. Okay, good. This is exactly 9.5. Then I'm going to connect it straight down. Now this is what I have. Here now, I'm just going to come down by half an inch. Then measure 2 inches from the edge here. Then connect to the half an inch. This is what I have now. Then I can connect for the back. can use your pattern master to do that. The front armhole is going to be deeper than the front, so I'm just going to get the midpoint here. That's about 2.5 here. From here I'm just going to come in by half an inch, which is here, then connect it. That's for the front armhole. Now we are done with that. Then we'll go to the neckline. It's going to have a zipper at the back, so you can decide if you don't want it to have a zipper, then you need to make the neck width and neck depth wider so as to pass through the head. So for the depth now, I'm just going to make use of 3 inches by either 2.5. So this is 2.5 here. And this is what I have. Then for the back, I'll just come down by 1 inch or 1.5. It depends on what exactly you want. So that's for the back neckline, and this is for the front neckline. The next thing is to cut it out. I'm cutting out the back neckline first because we are going to use this as a pattern for the back. Then the back armhole. I'm done with that. So this is what it looks like. This is it. So I'm going to fold it back again, then place it on a folded fabric again to cut out for the back. Another fabric has been folded for the back. Then I marked out 1 inch, which will be for the zipper allowance, which is optional. If you don't want a zipper on it, then your neck width and neck depth should be wider. So I'm going to place it from that 1 inch away. Just pin it down. Then I'm just going to cut it. Now I've cut it out. Can you see that? So what I will do now is to set this aside first, then slit this open. Now this is for the back. Can you see that? So I'm going to set that aside. Then back to the front. I'm going to finish up the neck line and the armhole. This will be for the front. Can you see that? So let's go to the lower part. Right now for the lower part, this is what we want to achieve. You can see the inverted pleats. So how do we go about that now? So I just cut out a strip of fabric, unfold. Remember from what we drafted, the upper part we want it to be 15, while the lower part should be 10. But I had to cut out 11.5. Why? Because we need half an inch to join this to the upper part, 1 inch to hem the lower part. So that was why I cut out 11.5 inches. So now to know what we are going to cut out, what do we do? Measure what you have, whatever you have here, unfold. For this now I have 9.5 here. Remember when we were drafting, I had 9.5. So I'm going to place that 9.5 here. 9.5 here. Then for the inverted pleat, it depends on how wide you want it to be. So for this now, I just made use of 4 inches. So I pleated 2 inches, 2 inches, 4 inches. You can make it 6. It will be nice, but 4 is just okay. So now I'm going to add that extra 4 inches to this 9.5. Sorry, 9.5. Always be careful with your measurement. This is 9.5. 9.5 is actually here. Can you see that? Then I'm going to add that 4 inches for the pleat. I'm going to add it to it. So adding it to it has also affected this other part. So you just need 1. So we have total of 13.5. Yes, 13.5. So what I will do now is this. I want to cut this off. So I'm not going to measure this exactly 13.5 to the lower part, because you don't want it to be straight. You still want to have that A-shape effect. So what I will do now is to add 1 inch to whatever measurement I have here. Since this is 13.5, I'll have to measure 14.5 here. That's 14.5. Then I can connect it. And I'll cut that out before we start talking about the pleats. Okay, good. The next thing we have to take into consideration is how wide you want the pleat to be from each other. So here now, this is the midpoint. With the crease, I know that is the midpoint here. So I'll just make it 4 inches on each side. So this is the midpoint. So 4 inches here, 4 inches here, which is okay. The pleat is here. So now I know I want a span of 8 inches. So let me set that aside. So 8 inches divided by 2, since it is on fold. So from the edge now, I'm going to measure 4 inches. So from here, this is where my pleats will have to start. So that is 4 inches. So what I will do now is this. I will now have to measure 4 inches. So this is the 4 inches for the span. So after that, I'll measure 4 inches. 4 inches is here. Then I'll get the midpoint of that, which is 2 inches. So this is the midpoint. Can you see that? So let me mark it on the other side. So with this, I know it is here. It is here. It is here. Can you see that? So opening it up, this is what I will have. So this is the 8 inches span. So what I will do now is to pleat it this way. To go meet the midpoint here. Then I will come to this other side. Make sure it meets up with each other. Coming to this part too. This is what I have now. Then here. So this is exactly what I wanted. So let's check the span. Yeah, 8 inches. That is the span we want. So I'm going to give it a good press now. Then just run a straight stitch from this point. And you see, you can feel it with your hand on it here. So just run it about 1/4 inch from here to this point. Then from here now, I can feel it to this point. I'll do that also for the back. Right now, after sewing it up, this is what I have. You can see that. So on the wrong side, this is what it will look like. So what we are going to do now is this. For the back, before attaching it, we have to fix the zipper. But for the front, you can just attach it, because this is what you have now. Can you see that? So all I have to do now is to just sew it up by 1/2 inch this way. Make sure right side are facing each other, then 1/2 inch to close it up. Now let's talk about the back before we can do the same thing. This is the back panel for the upper part. Now before we can attach it with 1/2 inch to the lower part, first we have to fix the zipper. The first thing now is to determine where you want your zipper to stop. So between 7 to 8 is just okay. So that is it. So I will have to close it up from here down here before attaching the zipper to it. So that will be the first thing I'm going to do. So I have to close it off from here down to here. This part is now going to be open. Then I can fix my zipper. But if you don't want to go through this stress of putting a zipper, make sure you come down by exactly like 3 inches for the back too, so it will be able to pass through the head of the girl. It's quite free enough. So having done that now, I'm just going to fix the zipper, join it to the lower part. Right now the zipper has been fixed and it has been attached to the lower part. You can see that the next thing now is to join it at the shoulder, then finish it up with the bias strip. Can you see that I've overlocked all these areas and the sides, but the armhole area will be and the neckline will be finished with a bias strip. Can you see that? So first I'll just have to join it at the shoulder by quarter of an inch, then open up the zipper, finish the neckline with a bias strip and the armhole area, then we join the sides and the lower part. Can you see the final result? It's looking so beautiful. You can see I finished it up with a bias strip, then I sew up the sides. Then I decided to attach a small bow to this. I've made a detailed video on how to make a bow. I'm going to put the link in the description box below. Then looking at the back, this is what it looks like at the back. It's so beautiful and easy to make. So please make yours and share with us on our Facebook group Sewing Innovation. Tag me on Instagram, the key signatures. Concerning our online classes, some are ongoing, some are starting very soon. In case you are interested in any, please, I'll put the contact number in the description box below. So just contact us. And concerning the tools, if you are interested, also contact us. So I have to go for now. Bye everyone.